Hey guys, Scott with Grey Mac. If you were wondering what's happened to the Triad housing market in November 2022, stay tuned and I'll show you. All right, everyone. So this is the back end MLS. This is the data, the numbers, the fun piece. And so if you guys are wondering, what happened in November 2022, I'm going to walk you through that and kind of give you an idea of where the market is. I know there's a lot of fear in the market right now because we've had such a crazy seller's market. But keep in mind, the market may be good for sellers, not good for buyers. And then you get a shift. So it doesn't mean the market is falling apart, it's bad. It just means now's a good time. If you've been sitting on the sidelines with cash, getting ready to buy, now is your time to buy. So I know interest rates are high, but there's a lot of things out there that can be done to bring those interest rates down for you. And always reach out to me if you guys have a question about that. So whenever we look at the back end of the MLS, you guys can see we've had a good steady run up from 2019 all the way up to June 2022 when we had that peak. So we did get peak interest rates back in June of 2022, a little over 7% there. And that's when the brakes really hit on the market. So that also is a little cyclical too, and we'll look at that too here in a minute. But this is the average sales price. So remember, there's median. Median is the dead center of the MLS. Average is you take the entire total, add it up, and then divide it by the number of properties, and that gives you the average. So that's the two things you need to keep in mind. So when we look at sales price, you guys can see on the average sales price, it is about $298 right now in the MLS. Median sales price is about $265. So what does that look like if you compare it to October? So October median sales price was $275. It has dropped down to $265. When we look at average sales price, it was $305 and it's down to $298 now. So it is dropping. Keep in mind, a lot of this is seasonal too, and I'll show you what this looks like. So now when we look at new listings hitting the market, you guys can see in October was at 2,042. In November, it's at 1,752. So, people are thinking, oh man, doom and gloom, things are bad. But whenever you back this out to 5 years, you guys can see this really matches what we see in a normal cycle. So 1,752 in November 2022, but when we look back at, say, for example, November of 2018, 1,716. So we actually are a little bit better than we were in November 2018 on the number of new listings hitting the market. So you really got to have to take the last 2 years and take it with a grain of salt, right? I mean, there's a lot of crazy things that happen. The government infused a lot of money into the markets. Companies are buying up like crazy. And so when you look more at a historical level, that's something you need to keep in mind too. Number of homes for sale has ticked up a little bit. So that's the number of homes for sale. And so that doesn't mean new listings. It means the ones that are already on the market plus the new listings. And that gives you the ones that are still sitting there at 3,348. The number of pending sales has dropped off. Once again, keep in mind that it is cyclical. Now, this number of pending sales has dropped off a little bit harder. Obviously, interest rates are a lot higher, so we are seeing a little bit slower market in this November time frame. Number of closed sales, you can see 1,658. And then when we look back, December of 2018. We're actually, November of 2018, 1,694, 1,658. So not that much worse than we were pre-COVID levels. The number of days on market is ticking up. So the median number is 10 days. When you throw the average, which includes the higher listed price properties, it does add more days. Because typically a house that's over $1 million is going to sit on the market a lot longer than something, say, at a 250 level. So when you look at the average, it's 24 days. Still, as you can see, historically in the last 5 years, 24 days is quick to sell a house. So once again, don't freak out about things sitting on the market a little bit longer. And then month supply, it is starting to tick back up. So we're getting a little bit more supply in the market than we've had. Things are selling at about 100% of the list price. So that's why you want to make sure you list the property pretty well. These numbers, the spike up here, obviously that was people paying extra, paying over what list price was. Price per square foot is about where it was last month. Volume dropping off, but also kind of cyclical, something we normally see. The number of shows per listing is also dropping off too. It just means that we're starting to see less and less people looking at homes. But once again, when you go back to 2019, even in June April, May, June. I mean, we're seeing, March 2019, June, it's right around 5 showings per listing. Here, even in November, we're still getting 5.4 showings per listing. So we're still getting a lot of interest. I think that's all the buyers that have still been sitting on the sidelines for the last 2 years, trying to get in and see what's out there. So the market's still good. Just remember, it was a seller's market. It's moving to a buyer's market now. And for you sellers, you want to sell pretty quick because the prices are dropping as they do on a seasonally adjusted basis. But as a buyer, it is a great time to buy. We are seeing concessions. We are seeing home warranties. There are also many, many ways to drop the interest rate down for you, and it doesn't cost you a penny. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. But thank you for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.